So I just want to take a few minutes right now and talk a little bit about the process God started taking me through to prepare me for this trip. A couple months ago, I was praying and just asking the Lord, how do I prepare for this project, going to the UK for 3 months? I really want to just be on track with what you want to do to prepare me and to begin to open this up even more. And it was amazing because basically what he said is, do art meditation. Now, some of you guys might not know what that means, but it's something that he's been developing in me for the last few years. And it's this concept of taking a verse, narrowing it down even closer, like into a phrase, or in this sense, even just taking a theme that God has you on and just spending time chewing in that, praying in it, singing in it, allowing it to culminate on the inside. And God has been doing that in me through this process of artwork, where you take that theme and you begin to develop it with the Lord in that place of drawing and encounter and just looking to see what is he speaking. And it's just amazing how it really builds this doorway into a living substance of what he's saying he is bringing forth. And for me, it's like I'm seeking his storyline, and just by sitting there and drawing and praying, he's beginning to show me these ancient places and beginning to open up these things. So I just wanted to talk about a little bit of that. What you see on the wall right now is from that preparation time, and it's just been amazing to watch God unfold the story and give all these confirmations through this process. And I'll just kind of share about a couple of these. I'll talk about these three first. I didn't create these at the same time, and I didn't intend them to be a series, but really they turned into an unfolding representation of the same thing from different aspects and dimensions. And so you've got the menorah in all three of them. Over here you can see this is actually a harp. I know you can't see the top of it, but it's the harp of David, and there's a whole unfolding thing with that there. And you have a theme over here of the branch and the burning bush, the root and the offspring of David. There are a lot of different things coming through in that. All these were on different themes that I was meditating on. And then in this one you have had to do with Moses asking God to show his glory, and God revealing that to him. And you have the burning bush. It also has Isaac and Abraham with the ram in the thicket. And then it also has obviously the cross and the sword of Hebrews 4 coming through the Word of God. But this theme I've been feeling emerging with this project has to do with the seven spirits of God. And we know in Revelation that they are standing as burning ones before the throne in heaven. And they are a witness of the nature of God. When I think of the seven spirits of God, I think of this refraction of the light of the glory of God that splits into all the colors of the rainbow. And it's this full expression of the different tones and colors to the nature of God and what he releases to be made known to people as a witness standing before the throne. And so I really feel that is an underlying theme throughout this project, and that there will be that nature of the unfolding witness of God and the different colors that comes with that, and then just even the power that comes through those seven spirits. Isaiah 11:11 talks about what those different ones are and what they carry. And so it's been amazing just to watch how these themes have been unfolding along the way. Another one I want to talk about is this one. So that one unfolded in a really unique way, but we were meditating on Revelation 21:6. Jesus said to me, "It is finished. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the first and the last, and will give freely of the fountain of the water of life to him who thirsts without cost. He who overcomes will inherit all things, and I will be his God, and he will be my son. And it was just amazing. Obviously, it just took me right straight to the words that God gave me in the beginning of the project. I have given you an assignment with the Celtic wellspring, because in this passage you have the wellspring, you have this fountain. And a fountain isn't the same as a river. It's a reservoir. It's a source of water that's down in the ground. And when the ground gets broken open, the water springs forth. And there's this connection of thirst. And the access is free, but the currency is thirst, because it will only be given to the measure of the one that thirsts. And it's amazing because my friend Nora found that word fountain in the original language was actually connected to the word tent, which all of a sudden God just unlocked this key. And it was amazing to even take that word and put it in that phrase. I've given you an assignment with the Celtic tent. And it just began to amaze me at God's purpose in establishing his house and what he's doing to establish his house, and how the Celtic storyline actually carries that theme of the house being built. And so that was just a really exciting discovery. And it also really clarified for me personally, just even God's heart to take me on assignment during this, because what I began to realize is that the bride throughout human history has had partnership with the Lord in such a way that they have a very personal interest in the end time storyline. It is not just our storyline, it is theirs as well, because at the end of the age, the full bride will be presented. And so in that, I believe that throughout time, the earth is Chronos time, that timeline going along, and then the heavenly time, the eternal time, Elam, it connects at certain points when we reach in and interact with God in the supernatural, because it's an eternal time frame happening. So at those Kairos intersections, that's that intersecting between earth and heaven time. I believe that there was something happening throughout history where, with that interaction between heaven and earth, there were deposits being placed in the land, because it was the inheritance of the bride of that day to be given into the future generation when the fullness of time would come forth at the end of the age, and the bride would be made ready. And even now, the bride from those generations, they're cheering and they're excited for that storyline. They're excited because they are joining in and partnering with that storyline. And I believe that even now, they know the inheritance that they have in the land, and it's been a time-sensitive well. In other words, it was only meant to be unlocked for a certain generation corporately, and it would be the timing of the bride coming forth in the last days. And so I just feel a real connection to that call of partnership to see those inheritances unlocked, and that partnership of heaven and earth and what is to be established in this time. So that's a little bit. I could tell you stories about each one of these and how it's been weaving together these themes in my heart and making it come alive. And as I look at these pictures, I stick them on the wall when I go places, and it allows me to connect in to that place of focus of what he's wanting to reveal and show me. And I believe it's a living testimony that he begins to speak into my heart, into the hearts of others, as this whole house is being built together, that place of access in the well springs. And so I just wanted to share a little bit about that and encourage you guys that this is a real and valid way that the Lord will begin to tap into our hearts and allow us to come into what he's bringing forth.